What's going on? This is Graphiroth. Welcome to the second part of the first installment of my Creature Effects series. In the first part, we went through the modeling of the Minotaur, and now we're going to go into the texture painting, or the painting and the hair effects, fur effects. Armor Paint is a substance painting program. It's available at armorpaint.org. It's not free, but it's just $20, and it does way more than you'd expect for $20. Did a new material, and I dragged in a texture, a hide texture. This was going to be the skin, the hide for the Minotaur. This material wasn't going to be that glossy, and I brought up the roughness because in the principled shader paradigm, you reduce glossiness by increasing the roughness. Principled shader is based on Disney Studios' realistic shader, so it's meant to imitate real-world materials by imitating real-world physics. So I was going to have a creature that had glossy skin in some parts of the body, but not overall. See one node that is brightness and contrast to increase the contrast of the image texture I brought in, and then you see one node that's a mixed RGB. That's to mix with the black color and parts of the skin that were too glossy. Right, so this is a fur texture, and I created another material. I'm just gonna add a kind of base fur in parts of the body. I'm ultimately gonna add hair. I eventually decided to bring in a normal map that I created from the fur material, and I just plugged that into the normal map slot of the material output. So there's going to be fur over most of the body, and I just did this to enhance the effect in specific parts that I wanted to make appear furrier than the rest. So the normal map displaces the light hidden on the surface to make it appear that there are grooves and bumps. It doesn't actually do anything to the actual geometry of the object. It's pretty awesome that you could paint with a material that is shiny or bumpy or glossy or all of the above. Alright, so I bring the roughness all the way up. So wherever I paint, it dulls the glossiness with each stroke. So this was another quick job. Alright, so I go back into Blender and I adjust the horns. In the base color channel, I bring in the horn base that was just exported from Armor Paint. So the metallicity is being controlled by the metallic map. The roughness is being controlled by the roughness map, all exported from Armor Paint based on the material, the substance I painted. I keep tweaking the specular property until I'm happy with it. So I go in, I turn transparency on, and hit C to get the circle brush, and I paint out parts of the object. I'm just trying to create a vertex group for when I apply fur to the creature. Once the hair was long enough, I could give him a very basic crew cut. So I re-imported the material. So I'm happy with this. So it's on to the rigging stage. Alright, one last thing. I thought some of you might be curious as to how I created a normal map out of the fur map that I had. There's a program called Neo Texture Edit, which allows you to do complex texture setups with a few simple tools. So if you right click in the empty space, you could pick the pattern bitmap as a node for your diffuse map, and then you import that. You click where it says image to import the diffuse map. So right click and drop in a normal map filter. Connect the nodes, and that automatically gives you a normal map. You could increase the strength if you feel you need your normal map to be stronger. So I just multiplied it by 4.0, and that was more than enough, and saved it as a normal map version. Alright, so that's it for this tutorial. If you're interested in the full tutorials, then join me on Patreon. If you're okay with abbreviated tutorials, I'll be posting those on YouTube. So take care, have a good one. Graphiroth out.